I'm Samson Araga. I'm the country manager of Ethiopian Airlines in Canada. We are now at Pearson International Airport expecting our flight coming from Yaoundé, a repatriation flight. We are evacuating over 200 Canadian passengers who have been stranded for the past weeks, so many weeks, because of the emergence of this COVID global pandemic, COVID-19. It's not the first repatriation flight up until now, including this flight. In fact, we have evacuated close to 1,200 Canadian passengers stranded in the entire Africa, and some are in Europe and some are in Middle East. So we have evacuated close to 1,200 Canadian passengers, stranded passengers, families, students, professors who were on exchange programs. Ethiopian Airlines is, as we speak, one of the two only international airline flying to and from Pearson International Airport. All the other airlines have suspended their flights due to, of course, the global pandemic and the plunge of passenger traffic and passenger demand, and coupled with countries' blockades, shutdowns, and movement restrictions. But we sustained still, and we are connecting Canada with the rest of the world and with Africa, in fact. Must have been a long flight. Huh? Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so emotional. We could able to evacuate over 200 Canadians back home. It's great, which means 200 stories and more to hear. And I really appreciate the government of Canada also. And they have extended, in fact, the government of Canada were so grateful about the services that Ethiopian Airlines were giving in repatriating all passengers. It's overwhelming, and sometimes you can be very emotional. Reading those stories, people would call you and tell you those stories. Ethiopian Airlines helped me come back home during this very challenging time. I was away on a work trip. I was away on a business trip. My wife was in here. My children were there. And after you evacuated us from that place, that country have locked down have locked down the next day, or after 3 hours, or after 24 hours. So people have been so gracious, so thankful, so grateful about the services that Ethiopian Airlines is giving.
When I came back to Canada, I'm like, this is home. Okay, this is another home, and the smile there, seeing that all the government of Canada help the Canadian on the Canadian soil, and also for Cameroonians, or if I take myself, from outside Canada, because people in Canada doesn't realize that they were helping inside and outside. This brings tears in my eyes, because I was in the plane for 11 hours. I went through all the row. We spoke together, but they realized that there's African Airlines who can provide excellent service. I really mean it. Excellent. The service, the guest, the airplane, the smooth of the flight, the professionalism. We can have that in Africa. And, we realize that there are people there who can really help us to grow.
We are so grateful to be partners with government of Canada in these evacuation plans, and of course we want to further this partnership to the future times as well. We are grateful, and of course they are also grateful for our services. I want to thank them for the partnership and for helping people. They were telling me that they were so stressed out, being locked up for 7 weeks, and they are so grateful that we evacuated them back home, safe and sound.